Hello everybody, welcome back to Country Girl. My name's Kathy Jarvis and today is October, about the middle of October, and I'm going to plant my garlic. I'm going to plant some in the greenhouse and some outside. Now I've not planted in the greenhouse before because this is the first year I've had this larger greenhouse. So we're going to plant just a few cloves in here and see how they do. One thing about planting garlic is that it takes a long time to grow. You plant it in October and you don't harvest it until June, about the middle of June. So you have to be careful about where you plant it because you don't want to plant it somewhere where you're going to want that bed in May. So I'm going to plant some around the edges of the peas and see how they do. Now there's three types of garlic. There's the hard neck, the soft neck, and elephant garlic. And the elephant garlic we're not going to talk about because it's not really a garlic. So we're going to work with the soft and the hard. And it's best to buy them from a reputable dealer, seed dealer. But if worse comes to worse, you can plant the garlic that you get from the supermarkets, but just make sure it's organic, because the ones that aren't organic can be sprayed with something that's going to prevent them from germinating. They'll eventually germinate, but it'll just take a long time. Another thing to watch out for, let me open up, I brought my garlic out in a little container, so let me open that up. Another thing to look out for is to make sure that it's American grown. And it'll say on the tag, but if it doesn't, you can always look on the bottom. If you can see the roots on the bottom of the clove, that means it still was produced in the United States. Because everything that's imported has to have these roots taken out. So there'll be an empty core there. And if they take those out, then there's a possibility that damages the cloves so they can't reproduce. And it's best to buy American made anyway, right? So let's get busy and start planting this clove of garlic. Now to plant those, you dig your hoe about 2 to 3 inches deep. And you put the garlic, you break this big head up into cloves. And we'll start doing that now. Okay, we're going to break them up into cloves. And this is what your clove is going to look like. It's going to have a pointy end, and then it's going to have your basal end. This end goes down into your 2-inch hoe. Just like that. You plant them about 3 inches apart, 3 to 4 inches apart. And that one went a little bit deeper. Don't want to go that deep. Oops. And we'll see how these turn out in the greenhouse. And then just cover them and label them that you put them in this area. Now the rest of them we're going to plant out in to the main garden. Now I could leave these little pieces lay, but I like to have a clean garden. So that is all it is to plant the garlic in the greenhouse. Plant them outside the same way. Once you get them planted, and you can mulch the ones outside. The ones in here will not need to be mulched. The ones outside should be mulched to keep them from heaving up out of the ground during the winter. So we'll go plant those next. Well, there's been a slight change in plans. The garlic that I had for seed garlic was not good. It was already dried up. So the only garlic I'm going to be planting, unless I get it from the supermarket, is going to be that in the greenhouse. That's the problem with the garlic around here. They sell it in the spring. Haven't found it in the fall. So I've been saving these since spring, and evidently they do not save very well. Lesson learned. All right, now we can throw the stuff into the compost and get the little hoe and get the little weeds out from between the broccoli. We're gonna be doing that. And that is about all I have to do in the garden today. That's not going to be bad. We'll check the green beans and see if they need to be harvested. Look like I might have a little bit of okra. My lima beans are still not producing too many pods. I've just got a few pods on this end, and that's it. And I don't even feel the bumps in some of them. So I'll be harvesting them what I can today. Looks like there might be some more back here. Still no bumps in them though. No bumps whatsoever. Lima beans do not fill out completely like a pea pod. They get a small bump in them, and that's when you know you can, if you hold them up to the sun, I don't know if you can see that, but if you hold them up to the sun, you can see through them, and you can see the bean developing. And you see I don't have very many beans developing in that. Now this one is better. This one's got a faux 3 beans in it that look good. So I'll have to come out here and see what I can find. At least I got pods. A week ago I had no pods at all. So that is progress. The only problem is whether they're going to be able to make the beans in time before it gets winter. There's a lot of pods on it today, which is good. All right. Well, I hope you've learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna get out here and harvest what I can out here and get the puppy back inside the house because she has no shade right now. The shade's gone. So I'll have to get her back in. And hope you have a good day. God bless you and your families. And remember to prepare for winter. Get some food stocked up for yourself and for your animals. Get your necessities, medicines, toothpaste, anything that you will be using on a regular basis. Get that stocked up for at least 1 or 2 ahead, so that if we do get a bad winter or if something happens to the economy, you won't have to run to the store to get something. You'll be able to eat at home or do whatever you have to for at least a week. You know, I know so many people who just go out and get groceries for 1 day or 2 days. I've always gotten groceries for a week to 2 weeks in advance. I might go to the store every day. I might go to the store once a week. I don't know, you know. But I know that if I have to, I can feed my family for almost a month out of the freezer and probably even longer out of the pantry. But I've always been like that because we've always lived out in the country, and you never know when the electricity's going to go out, or when we're going to get snow, or when a tree's going to go down and block your way to get out. There's a lot of things that can happen that you need to be prepared for. So I'm hoping that everyone will take a little bit of interest in what I'm saying and think about it and think, maybe I should have food for a little bit longer. And that's my main reason why I garden. I garden to produce the food for us for the rest of the year. And I'm sure that's what a lot of you gardeners are doing. So, with that, remember to dream big, follow that dream, subscribe to the channel if you would, it doesn't cost anything. Hit the bell icon and you'll hear when I'm on next, and you'll see what I'm doing next, which will probably be putting some of these garden beds to bed for the winter. I think I'm going to do most of the winter crops in the greenhouse this year. That way I won't have to make the little covers for all of these like I've done in the past. In the past, I've used these hoops that you see, and I put plastic over them and made mini hoop houses out of them to have the food for the winter. But I think this year I'm going to actually let them, just cover them up with some black landscape fabric and let them rest for a while, because they've been going non-stop for a long time. So with that, see you next time. Have a good day and bye.